Good morning, everyone. You're watching our Super Rugby Week 12 Handicap Projection Show. Can you believe it? We're into Week 12 already. For those who haven't watched the show before, I like to go through my handicaps and then compare them to a bookmaker's, and we see if there's any early value. Well, GG Gaming, they are playing board big time this week as well. They have shared their handicaps with me. They're coming out at 12 o'clock. That's in 15 minutes' time with their handicaps. I'm going to run you through mine. I've also got contribution from Sicko Dave, punter on Twitter. He actually works for a bookmaker in Australia. He's given me his caps. We'll have a look at our caps. We'll compare them to GG Gaming, and then we'll see where does the value lie. Hopefully grab a couple of you guys on the live chat as well. The show has come out at quite short notice, but I know one or two punters very keen. And the big news is we'll finish the show before 12 o'clock. GG Gaming will open at 12, and you can then get involved on those handicaps. They said they're going to leave them for at least 20 minutes before making any adjustments. So great sports, the lads there at GG Gaming. Before you do anything else, if you haven't subscribed to our show, go below this video and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss out, because we're starting a new rugby show. That's on Monday night. We're going to do it at 9 o'clock, and it's going to be called Use It or Lose It. The focus will not be purely on betting. It'll just be on some of the general rugby issues that are happening. So make a note of that. Monday night, 9 o'clock, Use It or Lose It. And, of course, our GG Gaming Gone Mad and handicap shows, they come up on Thursday night. I'm going to share my screen now. Quick run through of the results on the week. I don't know how you guys did as punters. It certainly wasn't the best week for me, although the best bet of the Sharks arrived actually quite comfortably. I made some bad decisions and unfortunately got dragged into the good old Pro 14 again, which clearly wasn't a very good move on my part. I ended up going unders on points in Bloemfontein, and well, I think they were close to 90 points in the game. Let's have a look then at the results quickly. Crusaders up against the Lions. The Crusaders were 20.5-point favourites. They arrived quite comfortably on the handicap. What did I bet on? I bet on the Crusaders, 37 points or more. Can you believe it? Last 25 minutes, and they couldn't add to their tally. A conversion just missed, which would have given me the win. But that's the way my run has been going on at the moment. Highlanders against the Sunwolves. I was surprised at the amount of support there was for the Highlanders. For the Sunwolves in this game. A lot of people fancied them on the cap, and even to win the game, the Highlanders few problems in seeing them off a 52-0. Hurricanes up against the Chiefs. I did like the Hurricanes here, but had no real confidence in them. They were around about the 12.5-point mark, if I'm not mistaken. They beat the handicap quite comfortably in another exciting New Zealand derby. Waratahs up against the Sharks. Well, this is our best bet on the Good for the Game newsletter, and I'll put a link to that below this video as well. The Sharks, plus 8.5, we backed, and that arrived comfortably. We did say on the show, and Hendrik Swart did say on the handicap, that he was backing the Sharks to win the game as well. You could get 22-10, and they ended up beating the Waratahs nicely. A big turnaround in form there for the Sharks, that's for sure. The Stormers up against the Bulls. Well, the Bulls, I thought, absolutely blew this in the second half. I like the Bulls. It was a very even split between the punters. And, the Stormers winning by a point there. But I guess the big news in this game was the Stormers led by 8 points when the Bulls missed a penalty in the dying seconds, which would have got them a bonus point. The Stormers, they needed another try to get a bonus point themselves. They tried to run the ball from behind their own line and ended up conceding a try to the Bulls. And the implications for punters, unbelievable. My good mate, Coyle O'Connell, for example, he was on under 45.5 points in that game, and he was on Stormers minus 1.5. So that late try by the Bulls, which might have meant nothing to your average Bulls fan, well, it cost him big time. He lost his Stormers handicap, and he lost his total points play. So lots of drama in that game. Just a quick word here. Hi to some of the guys on the live chat. I've got Dave from Australia. He's on. Good to see you, Dave. And Emil, one of our prize winners on the weekend as well. Emil, if you haven't seen it on Twitter yet, you won the 500 Rand voucher. Well done. Good to see you boys on the chat. I'm going to run through into the handicaps now. Just quickly to touch on the Jaguares against the Brumbies. I didn't watch this game. My weekend was well and truly done and dusted by this stage. The handicap was about 3.5 or 4.5 in the Jaguares' favour. You would have won your bet there, but there was also some plus 5.5 Brumbies. So no excuses really for you there if you lost on that game. Let's pop across now to the Good for the Game website. I've set up the template. Here's the forum thread. I'll put a link below the video as well. You can stay close to this forum thread all week because guys share the information. And, of course, especially in this World Cup here, things like team news are quite critical as well. So, guys, on the live chat, I see Lena's joined us here as well. Let me know your handicaps as well, because bear in mind, GG Gaming are not out yet. They're going to open at 12 o'clock. So there's no harm sharing the caps. I also have their caps, so they're not going to be changing them based on the opinion in this video. Right, I've gone Crusaders minus 18.5. That's against the Sharks, who were impressive in beating the Waratahs, but the Crusaders, well, they're also impressive at home. I think team news will probably be a big factor there, though. We may see some movement in the handicap. Dave, well, he's gone minus 19.5. And I'll put the GG ones in brackets. And bear in mind, we're always talking about the home team here. We've got minus 17.5. So to sum up there, really, we very much all aligned there. We were actually all three of us within 2 points. So not a lot of early value there as far as I'm concerned with getting on GG Gaming. Emil saying minus 16.5 Crusaders. So he's also very much in the same ballpark. Right, the Reds up against the Sunwolves. Sunwolves, of course, having to travel after that terrible loss to the Highlanders, 52-0. I'm going minus 15.5. I see Dave here is minus 12.5. And let's see what GG have gone on this one. They've gone 12.5 as well. So they're pretty much in agreement. So you could say a bit of value for me there, I think, in the Reds, minus 12.5. Not sure if it's really enough to get me hopping on board early, but there's a 3-point difference between mine and GG Gaming's there at this point. Hurricanes up against the Rebels. The Hurricanes, I've gone here minus 14.5. I think they're starting to hit their straps a bit. I'm not sure if the Rebels haven't run their race. I'm very different from Dave on this one. He's gone minus 7.5, and this is Dave in Australia, not Dave from GG Gaming. And if we have a look at GG Gaming, well, they are a lot closer to me. We're within 2 points there, minus 12.5. And my gut feel is that the GG handicap will probably be around about right at the 12.5 point mark. So far, then, nothing that really sets me on fire as far as emptying out the credit card and getting on early. Let's have a look if there's anything coming up in the next game. I've gone Highlanders minus 8.5. That's at home to the Chiefs. Like we've often said on this show and on the handicap show, handicapping these New Zealand derbies is normally fairly comfortable. You don't normally go with the home team. You normally go with the home team by 6 or 7. Well, I can tell you there is a difference here with GG and myself. I didn't get it. I didn't get one. I think Dave left this one out. Well, I couldn't find it on his tweet that he sent me. But we've got Chiefs minus 11.5. So interested to know if any of you guys see any value there. I think the Hurricanes on that one. Dave saying, his line in fact was minus 11.5. I think that was on the Rebels game. So he's saying he must have sent me the wrong line on that one. So I'll just correct that quickly. The advantages of the live chat. So we've got a 3-point difference there between myself and GG Gaming. Let's have a look at the next game. It's the Brumbies up against the Blues. The Brumbies here, I see them starting as narrow favourites against the Blues. I've gone minus 3.5. Certainly wouldn't have the Blues as favourite personally, but you're going to see some value here. We got Dave is very much in agreement with me. And here we go, guys. I think this could be one of the ones you guys might want to look at. If I'm reading the handicaps of GG Gaming correctly, that Dave sent me, he said Brumbies plus 4.5. So they've actually gone for the Blues as favourites in this game, which is quite interesting. So a big difference, if you add it up there, we're looking at a 7-point difference between my line and the GG Gaming line. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm correct, so don't go steaming in, chaps. But interested to see what you guys think on the show there as well. Emil just mentioning, of course, team news is going to be very important. If Retallick returns for the Chiefs, he'll be all over the plus 11.5. The beauty of these GG Gaming handicaps at the moment is, well, we don't know yet what the team news is going to be. So you need to take your view early. You need to take it on a Sunday afternoon or on a Sunday and decide if you're going to be playing that. Let's see. Dave is saying for the Brumbies that Pocock could be coming back. But I think the general consensus is that there could be some value in backing the home team on the handicap there. The Bulls up against the Waratahs. Just having a quick time check. We've got 7 minutes until the handicap's opening at GG. We want to get through it all. Well, I'll make the Bulls a fairly solid bet here at minus 13.5. Dave has gone minus 11.5, so not much between us. But here, guys, is some big news. GG Gaming, they are going minus 8.5. Now, I don't know if Sean Nicholas is watching the show, but I already received a message from him this morning saying he reckons he's going to be all over the Bulls minus. Have a look there. We've got quite a big difference, a 5-point from me, who's the highest on the Bulls, to GG, who the lowest. The minus 8.5. Dave and Gary from GG Gaming, I think you're going to lay quite a bit of the Bulls minus 8.5. Just have a look at Kevin Turn on the live chat. Sada's value. Shark side struggled to beat a 14-man Waratahs. That's true. I had forgotten about the red card. And the Saders beat the Lions by 26, so he likes them. And yeah, interesting. Dave saying he thought he would be low on the Bulls game, and yet GG have come in underneath him. So guys, it does seem to be some value there. Haguares against the Stormers. That's the last game. Haguares is still very much in a very open South African conference. I'm going Haguares minus 3.5. Dave is going minus 2.5. Not a lot of difference there. And GG, well, in this particular case, we're all quite aligned. They're going minus 4.5, the Haguares. So there we have it, guys. Those are the handicaps. The 2 games that stand out for me as potential value. We've got the Brumbies plus 4.5 against the Blues. I think the Blues will start favourites there, if not big favourites, just slight favourites. And then the Bulls against the Waratahs, where I think the minus 8.5 is going to get plenty of attention. I will say, though, that the Bulls have been so unreliable this season. Let's say all of the South African teams are so unpredictable. I wouldn't mind being in GG Gaming's shoes as a bookmaker and perhaps laying the Bulls. But, guys, I do expect you're going to get plenty of interest in that one. I'm going to, even as we speak, just post that on the Good for the Game forum, so the guys who aren't watching the video at this stage can have a look at it. But, guys, we look forward to staying close to you all week on this. I'm going to knock the show off now with my best bet, certainly at this stage on the early GG Gaming caps, the minus 8.5 Bulls. And I also do think that there's some value in the plus 4.5 Brumbies. What else do you guys think out there? Have a look. You've got a couple of minutes to make your betting decisions, and then you're going to get on by 12 o'clock. David, I don't know what time the guys come out in Australia there. I think they probably come out later tonight. We'll see what happens. But thanks to the chaps who did join us on the live chat. And, yeah, have a look at those GG Gaming caps and go mad. I'll certainly be looking at the Bulls minus 8.5. We'll see you later on in the week. Tomorrow night, in fact, at 9 o'clock. We use it or lose it.